I do not have the necessity to be politically correct. I can mention bloody names, and I can call names, and I call names like CAIR,
yes,
Matt,
yes.
They stand up and preach hypocrisy.
So I'm going to take your CAIR hat off for a minute. If he was associating with the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, doesn't that seem immoral in your opinion?
To a certain degree. Now, before 1995, there's nothing immoral about it.
UK! 7-7 on its way! 7-7 on its way! 7-7 on its way! 7-7 on its way! Jihad is 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 on its way!
Didn't Hezbollah invade Israel?
Hezbollah did not invade Israel.
They didn't?
Not at all.
What started this conflict?
The conflict is...
No, the conflict between Lebanon and Israel. What started it? Hello?
Since its founding in 1994, the Council on American-Islamic Relations and its employees have combined, conspired, and agreed with third parties, including, but not limited to, the Islamic Association for Palestine, the Holy Land Foundation for Relief and Development, the Global Relief Foundation, and foreign nationals hostile to the interests of the United States, to provide material support to known terrorist organizations, to advance the Hamas agenda, and to propagate radical Islam. The Council on American-Islamic Relations and certain of its officers, directors, and employees have acted in support of and in furtherance of this conspiracy. Senior CAIR employee Randall Todd Royer, also known as Ismail Royer, pled guilty and was sentenced to 20 years in prison for participating in a network of militant jihadists centered in Northern Virginia. He admitted to aiding and abetting 3 persons who sought training in a terrorist camp in Pakistan for the purpose of waging jihad against American troops in Afghanistan. Randall Royer's illegal actions occurred while he was employed with the Council on American-Islamic Relations. On December 18, 2002, Ghassan Alashi, founding board member of CAIR Texas, a founder of the Holy Land Foundation, and brother-in-law of terrorist Musa Abu Marzouk, was arrested by the United States and charged with, among other things, making false statements on export declarations, dealing in the property of a designated terrorist organization, conspiracy, and money laundering. Ghassan Alashi committed his crimes while working at the Council on American-Islamic Relations. Omar Ahmad, co-founder of the Council on American-Islamic Relations, stated, "Those who stay in America should be open to society without melting, keeping mosques open so anyone can come and learn about Islam. If you choose to live here, you have a responsibility to deliver the message of Islam. Islam isn't in America to be equal to any other faiths, but to become dominant. The Quran, the Muslim book of scripture, should be the highest authority in America, and Islam the only accepted religion on earth." Nihad Awad, executive director of CAIR, former public relations director for the Islamic Association of Palestine, stated, "I am in support of the Hamas movement." Ibrahim Hooper, CAIR spokesperson, commenting on CAIR's record of supporting Hamas, Hezbollah, and other official terrorist groups, stated, "CAIR does not support these groups publicly." Aman Al-Akras, CAIR vice chairman, writes, "What has happened in Somalia, for the majority of Somalis inside and those who are abroad, is a positive change. Somalia, where now failing to pray 5 times a day is a death penalty offense." Ahmed Bedier, CAIR Florida Communications Director, was responding to a question about Sami El-Arian of the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. Question: If he was associating with the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, doesn't that seem immoral in your opinion? Bader responded, "To a certain degree. Now, before 1995, there was nothing immoral about it. However, examining PIJ actions from 1991 to 1994, they had killed, murdered 3 people and injured 33. CAIR libel suit against AntiCAIR's Andrew Whitehead dismissed with prejudice. A $1.35 million libel suit filed by the Council on American-Islamic Relations against Andrew Whitehead of AntiCAIR, who called CAIR a terrorist front organization that was founded by Hamas supporters and was working to make radical Islam the dominant religion in the United States, has been dismissed with prejudice. Terms of the settlement are confidential. However, no apology was issued by AntiCAIR, no retraction or corrections made, and the statements that triggered CAIR's lawsuit remain on the AntiCAIR website. CAIR's suit was filed on March 31, 2004, after Mr. Whitehead posted the following statements. Let there be no doubt that CAIR is a terrorist-supporting front organization that is partially funded by terrorists, and that CAIR wishes nothing more than the implementation of Sharia law in America. CAIR is an organization founded by Hamas supporters which seeks to overthrow constitutional government in the United States and replace it with an Islamist theocracy using our own constitution as protection. AntiCAIR reminds our readers that CAIR was started by Hamas members and is supported by terrorist-supporting individuals, groups, and countries. Why oppose CAIR? CAIR has proven links to and was founded by Islamic terrorists. CAIR is not in the United States to promote the civil rights of Muslims. CAIR is here to make radical Islam the dominant religion in the United States and convert our country into an Islamic theocracy along the lines of Iran. In addition, CAIR has managed, through the adroit manipulation of the popular media, to present itself as the moderate face of Islam in the United States. CAIR succeeded to the point that the majority of its members are not aware that CAIR actively supports terrorists and terrorist-supporting groups and nations. In addition, CAIR receives direct funding from Islamic terrorist-supporting countries. And CAIR is a fundamentalist organization dedicated to the overthrow of the United States Constitution and the installation of an Islamic theocracy in America. CAIR claimed these statements were false, that Mr. Whitehead made them with knowledge of their falsity, and that the statements were actionable because they impute the commission of a criminal offense. CAIR claimed injury to its standing and reputation throughout the United States and elsewhere, and sought $1 million in compensatory damages, $350,000 in punitive damages, plus legal fees and interest. On June 20, 2005, and following submission of discovery requests by Mr. Whitehead's counsel, Reed Rubenstein, seeking information regarding CAIR's finances, its relationship to Hamas, and its ties to Saudi Arabia and other Islamic radicals, CAIR dropped nearly all of its original claims. The revised complaint alleged only the following statements to be false and defamatory. Let there be no doubt that CAIR is a terrorist-supporting front organization. CAIR seeks to overthrow constitutional government in the United States. Subsequently, Mr. Whitehead's counsel filed papers demonstrating the extensive links between and actions taken by CAIR and its principal leaders with and on behalf of Hamas terrorists, foreign Islamic radicals, and domestic Islamic extremists. Among other things, the pleadings show how CAIR had used its website to exploit the 9/11 atrocities, funneling money to the notorious Hamas front group, the Holy Land Foundation, organized and operated by a CAIR Texas board member who was a close and longtime associate of CAIR's executive officers, financed Hamas, and was shut down by the United States government in December 2001. Holy Land Foundation was also shown to have provided funds to CAIR. Shortly after Mr. Whitehead's counsel filed these papers, and shortly before a court hearing on Mr. Whitehead's request for access to CAIR's financial data and relationship with Hamas and Islamic radicals was to be held, the case was settled and dismissed with prejudice.